when you're out there fishing your top waters, don't get in that robot mode, so to speak, to where you're just throwing that buzz bait out there and reeling it in, or throwing your walking bait out there and you just, walk it all the way back in, or a popper popping it all the way in, because you're not really figuring out what the fish want. Experiment. Just tell yourself, I'm going to fish this type of retrieve for 10 minutes where it's a steady retrieve, and then the next 10 minutes maybe I'm going to make 3 little pops with my popper and stop it. 3 little pops and stop it. Take my walking bait, walk it for 3 or 4, 5 seconds and stop it. Let it sit by a piece of cover and walk it again. And what that does is, when you finally do get the bite, if you're paying attention to exactly what you're doing with that bait, you may have figured out the whole pattern for the day, basically the pattern within the pattern. You know what the lure is all of a sudden, and you know how you need to work that lure to get the fish to strike that bait. And to me, that's the whole key to fishing, is figuring those little subtleties out, what it takes to make a higher percentage of fish to bite a bait. And with topwater, it just seems like it's night and day difference between some days killing them and other days not getting a bite. So you really got to experiment with the retrieve. And there's days you could throw it out there and work it in all day long and not get a bite, but if you worked it part way in and stopped it, they just can't stand that, and that's when they're going to hit. So be willing to experiment. Don't become a robot fisherman.